husband and I operate without a help. So we manage between ourselves. We just plan how to manage things together. So one of the hacks that we came up with at that time was freezer meals. So if I can cook some kidogo legumes, why not cook the whole kg that I had bought and then store it? My husband is intentional about family devotions. We are not perfect, so we are not always able to do it. We are not always, it's not like every day we check the boxes and we did it. And one thing we've realized is that whenever she sees, after we've had our dinner and she sees us now relaxing, she actually goes and brings the Bibles to us, wanting us to read. Yeah. I really hope and trust God that with time she will begin to know and she will come to faith even at an early age.
Hello there and welcome to the show Parenting Conversations with Frida Wasonga. My name is Frida Wasonga and I am your host today. I am so happy to be here. This is where we talk about parenting in general, hearing parenting stories of parents, how they have been enjoying their parenting journey, some of the struggles they have faced, and what they are learning in general, just to help other parents to learn one or two things from their stories. Today I am so happy, delighted, it's just an understatement, because I am hosting my campus roommate and my friend. We have been friends for a very long time and I am so happy to see how she's parenting her daughter. She's a mother of one. I'm eager to hear how she has been hacking parenting. So it's a great opportunity to have her here for us to listen to her and to learn from her parenting journey. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome my guest. She will introduce herself and tell us what she does. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. My name is Wairimu Thiauri. I am married to John Thiauri, who couldn't be here with us today. And we have one daughter. She's called Kenya. Besides that, I work at my church as the office administrator. And we've been married for going to 7 years now, 6.5. And we thank God for His goodness so far in our lives. And I'm happy to be here today.
Wow, 6 years. Yeah. It feels long, and it just looks like the other day we came to your wedding and danced.
Yeah.
Wow, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you. So, how have you been?
I've been well.
Yeah.
Since we are talking about parenting, I think that has been the major highlight for this season.
Yeah.
So many adjustments to make because our daughter will turn 2 in November.
Yeah.
So that has been close to 2 years with her. So that means for the first 4 or so years, we didn't have someone needing us 24/7 around the house.
How was that?
Right now.
How was that?
It was interesting. It's been an interesting time because we were very used to being just the two of us.
Yeah.
And I think the way you never know, we knew that parenting was going to change things, but some things you never know until you're in the thick of it. And one of the challenges I had to personally grow through was expecting life to have some similarity with what was there before. But nevertheless, it's been such a joy to parent together and to raise our daughter and to see her grow. Right now she's a toddler, so it feels like we have a teenager in the house, but a teenager who is just barely 2 years.
Yeah.
So a teenager who can't talk back but has a very strong will. And so we've been journeying through together, looking to how to parent her and to steward her well, because again we are always being stretched with every season of parenting, and in need of learning and seeing how best to care for her.
Wow. Okay, so I would like us to look at life before Gakenya came. How you and John were, what you are doing together, life before a baby, and then now we'll compare it to how it is now.
Yeah. So life before the baby. For most part, I have been working from home.
Yeah.
And maybe if I need to go to the office, I go like twice a week. So that means I had a lot of free time for myself, and I could, like, there's so many things I used to do by myself. I had a routine, because what happened, the job I used to work before, which was an 8 to 5, I changed work, and with a new job, I saw the need to be productive, even and to plan my time well, and so I filled up my time with so many things. So I really enjoyed like homemaking during that season. There's so many things that I learned to do for myself, you know, to make soaps, to make pastries, to host, I think, every weekend. If you could look at our calendar, before we had a baby, I think every weekend we had sleepovers. Either we were the ones going or people were coming to our house. Yeah, we could just wake up and go to whatever place. I remember like during COVID, we would, because now both of us are working from home, and both of us are night owls, so we prefer to work late into the night than early mornings. So I remember we had such a schedule. We would wake up very late and then start working, work, and then at around 4, get out of the house, take long walks, come back in time for dinner, make dinner together, finish with any pending office work, and then start watching. And I think we would sleep even like at 2 a.m.
Wow.
Like we did things that as parents we had to change. It couldn't happen. And just also the responsibility of having a whole human being under your care, that was also something. Well, we used to live with family, with my 2 sisters before, and so in some way there were people under our care in that sense, because they are my younger sisters. But now your own flesh, who is a baby, that was a whole new level. But then God was gracious also to help us prepare well. Our daughter was born in 2023, and 2023 was full of major transitions for us. My husband left employment to try his hand at business, and so we moved even locations. And then somehow we were able to now live by ourselves the months before our baby came. So that really helped us reset. So my sisters left our care during that time. So for like maybe 4 or 5 months, we were able to like now set our minds to, we are about to have a baby, let's prepare well. And so, we had time to just reset in terms of even now becoming a unit to ourselves, because now we were used to also incorporating my sisters and the many people who would visit us. Now,
and the budget involved them.
Yes. So now we had to settle down and, okay, now this is how we want our lives to look like when the baby comes. And that was very helpful, because now also in terms of routines, if it's family devotions, and also equipping ourselves for parenting, and how we wanted to raise our daughter, we got to like reset and to refocus during that time that we were now alone and by ourselves. So it's a whole world. It's a lot of difference, but it's a joy. Like we still enjoy this season. We're not able to do the many things that we did then, to travel or to do whatever, but we still thank God, and
or to ambush and be ambushed.
To ambush and be ambushed. But we are thankful that even now the Lord is still giving us joy, and we've actually found other ways of incorporating some of that, not to the full intensity that we used to do it with, but in some ways, since it's something that we enjoy, like for example hosting, we still enjoy hosting together. So we found ways to work around that, even now with our baby being present.
How was pregnancy?
It was actually a wonderful time, except the normal fatigue And of course sleep, and of course the urge to towards the end, the urge to go to the toilet so many times and such things. It was normal. I thank God I had a very smooth pregnancy. I didn't have any morning sickness. It was just the normal things. And of course it was a whole new thing like we were experiencing, and I remember how I got to see a side of my husband that I hadn't quite clearly seen before. He was so careful with me, so like it felt like, hey, if I do something, you know, like something will happen. So he was very careful, and he stepped up in ways that were very amazing. Like I barely, especially towards the end, I barely did anything in that house because he really stepped up. And thank God that he works from home, so he's able to support in ways that are very helpful and very mindful. So pregnancy was generally a good journey. I was surrounded by friends, especially from church, who had walked the journey before, and so I had so many pointers from people on what to do, what not to do, what to think about ahead, and all those things, and that was super helpful. I remember like I felt like God brought people into our lives who could hold our hands in different aspects. I remember like one of the friends was really helpful in helping me start thinking about like the hospital, the kind of way to advocate for ourselves when we get to hospital. Another friend was very helpful in like, have you gotten all these things for the baby? Here is what, shopping, here is what you need, here is what you might, you don't need, and maybe you've watched videos that have told you you need it from the West. And God was very gracious to like send people who really filled different kinds of needs in our lives. And that really helped us prepare. I think one other helpful thing was just being active during the pregnancy journey. I walked a lot, and I think that also helped with just not being too fatigued, because the body would, I was active, and that was really helpful as well. Generally speaking, I enjoyed the pregnancy. Maybe now post-pregnancy is where like challenges that I feel like they stretched me quite a bit. Now that's where they all began.
Okay. Maybe before that, how was the delivery?
Wow. So actually, let's just say that's where now challenges began. I had prepared myself for the eventuality of, you know, whether it's a normal birth or a CS. But then, you know, you're hoping for normal. I think every woman is hoping for a normal birth, and you're preparing towards that. So everything went well until 40 weeks. And then at 40 weeks, okay, the baby is not yet here, my body has not yet gone into labor, and I started panicking. And then, of course, now people are asking when I go to church, bado,
you're still here.
You're still here. You're not supposed to be here. But we had decided that we would give ourselves a leeway. We would keep monitoring, yes, like going for clinics and all that, but we would give ourselves a leeway of up to 42 weeks. And we were working with a certain midwife. She was okay with that. So we would go in for monitoring just to make sure everything is okay. But then we would wait until 42 weeks, after which, if nothing had happened, I was going to go for a CS. So of course there was a bit of anxiety there. And we have friends and family who are in the medical world who some of them have a different opinion from that. So again, it was a bit challenging to just stand our ground, to know this is what we've decided. And we are working with a health practitioner who is advising us and who we are on the same page. So we had to stand our ground in that way. But then eventually labor came, And yeah, we were happy.
Yeah, that is at 40?
42. Actually, on the day of the 42nd week.
Yeah.
So we were happy, and so we went to hospital. I got to hospital, and the dilation was good. I was at 5 centimeters. So things were looking good. Like, that was good for a start.
Yeah.
But then I stuck there for the next many hours, like almost 24 hours.
At 5 centimeters?
Yeah, there was no progress, there was nothing. So we had to make the decision to go for CS. So again, so just to mention, to give context, we had taken some classes that were very helpful in knowing also how we were not just following the doctor's orders, and not because we doubt their knowledge, but also because it's happening to us. We needed to be active participants of this whole process. And so one of the things that we had learned is to ask questions.
Yeah.
So for example, when my labor was not progressing, and we were recommended for induction, so we ask questions. What's the benefit of this? What will happen if we don't go that route? And all those questions. And they were very, by we, I mean my husband, because I was nowhere. I was not thinking straight at that time.
Yeah.
So I was not really able to advocate for myself.
It was JT.
Yeah, it was JT, my husband, who was at least who stepped up to even do that. And so we decided I wouldn't get an induction, because we also knew that would increase pain to a very high level, and it was not a guarantee that I will not end up with a CS. So what we decided, we would monitor it for a few more hours, and then if nothing happens, nothing changes, we just go direct for a CS.
Okay.
So the reason why we were able to make that decision is just because of how we had equipped ourselves to know what interventions to accept, which ones, and not to say that induction is wrong, like we have nothing against it. It's just at that place, with the kind of pain I had experienced for those many hours, we thought it was torture to continue to increase the levels higher without a guarantee that anything was going to change.
Wow.
Yeah, so before even everything else, we had taken some classes with a Lamaze certified, I don't know what they're called, professional. And that's where we learned all of that.
Okay.
So the different stages of interventions and all of that. And my husband specifically took it very seriously, I think, because they were recorded classes. I think he watched those videos over and over, like twice, every video twice, just to understand what he needed to do, because he felt he needed to be like my doula, you know, like the person rubbing my back and doing all those things. So he was very, during labor he was very present and very helpful there. And that was such a blessing, because I was not thinking straight. In fact, I forgot everything that we had learned in that class. He's the one who just took over. He reminded me on how to breathe properly with the contractions coming and all that. So eventually I went for a CS. The baby came, and now the healing began. During the hospital, while we were still at the hospital, it was smooth. One of the things I remember is how the hospital bed was comfortable, because I could adjust it to whatever level for me to, walk out of the bed and all that. When I got home, it was seriously difficult.
The bed is not adjustable.
Yes, and that was quite something. It's not pain I was feeling, but the discomfort and the worry of what if I rupture was very real to me. And I think that was one of the major challenges that I experienced, just the healing bit with CS. And then of course now, we have a baby. So my husband loves to joke and say, like, Yani, those nurses looked at us and they were like, here's a baby, go care for her. Like, you trust us that much.
But it's your baby.
Yeah, it's your baby, yes. But you know, like, sometimes you're in disbelief. Like, this is actually happening. We are parents. Yeah, we've been through the pregnancy journey for the whole of 9 months, but until you hold that baby, it's okay. We are we are parents. We have a baby in our house under our care. Sisi. Yeah, so it was quite funny. And before we left the hospital, I remember on the actual day we were leaving the hospital, and the baby was still having meconium, like pooping the meconium. So we tried leaving the hospital thrice. So we bathed her. So the first day the nurse helped her, and then the second day she was like, "You're the ones who are going to be doing this at home, so do it as I watch." So we bathed her, clothed her, and then just when we had packed everything, we were about to leave, she pooped. The kind of poop that goes all the way to the So we changed her, and then now got ready to leave again. And then she did the same thing. So it was so funny. We were saying we've spent a whole 1 hour just trying to leave the hospital. Like, everything else is cleared. Our baby is deciding to poop.
The baby doesn't want to go home.
And then we went home, and my husband says that he was operating on adrenaline. And I think it's true, because I don't know whether he was sleeping. He was just so aware of the needs around him. Like, if I need something. So he's the one who will remind me about meds. He's the one who will say, let's set an alarm for the intervals at which you need to feed the baby. So he was basically my brain. I didn't have a brain at that time. He was the one thinking for me.
That brain.
He was the one who was thinking for me and for us. So we went home. And then, of course, also community. I really enjoyed the fact that God surrounded us with people. So we didn't even have to cook for 2 weeks. Ladies from church brought over freezer meals that we could just remove from the freezer and warm and eat. At one point, a friend of mine who is a lactation consultant.
A what?
Lactation consultant. So her career is in helping women with breastfeeding issues. Well, she's called Abella Health, her organization. So she came over to make sure that I was latching properly, I was having enough supply, because she deals with all of that, helping people and basically helping you work hard to have formula as the last resort. So walking you through that journey. So she came and she taught me all the things about pumping, everything that I needed to know about breastfeeding. She was there to walk me through, and that was also very helpful, because I did not struggle with breastfeeding issues, and it's one of the reasons is because she was there. She held my hand and walked me through all of that. So we had great community. We had neighbors coming to check on us. The Lord was just gracious in that way to give us people. We had people calling my husband. We had one of the great blessing was also someone from church who is an old man, and of course you understand he doesn't have practical ways in which the ones women will come and surround you with. So him just sending my husband an M-Pesa and telling him, I know you've become a father. It was very small, tangible ways and support that people showed us. People coming over and not expecting us to even go to the kitchen and cook for them. My friends came over and they came with everything that they needed to cook for us to have lunch. So they came and took over the kitchen and cooked. And all of that love and support made us not feel alone, because I know also that period of time can feel lonely, because people tend to think, hey, they have a baby, let's not go, let's not disturb them. But also I think the Lord was gracious to give us an easy baby. She used to sleep. In fact, all of the problems we've had with her sleep were later, not at that newborn stage. And that was also the Lord's blessing. So one of the things that we decided to do later, because my husband was operating on no sleep, because he had to wake up so many times at night. So we decided he would be sleeping through the night, because during the day he still had to do some work and all that. And then I would be the only one waking up, so that even during the day when the baby sleeps, I can sleep. And he would care for every other thing that needed to be handled. So that arrangement was really helpful, especially for him. And then we walked through the journey. I think now our problems began when the baby was 4 months old.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when we had her first regression and growth spurt. So I feel like there's a period of my life I was not sleeping after 4 months. So we even moved one of the couches to the bedroom, because basically at that point, of which you can, I think every parent has their own priorities and their own checks and balances to decide what to do. But at that point, we really didn't want to co-sleep. So I found myself even spending the night on the couch. And then at some point we were like, what is this thing that we are doing? Let her just come over, like, to our bed. Of course, some people argue, depending on where you fall, some people argue that's not wise. And I see how, because now that became a dependency issue.
Okay. So like sleeping, you mean sleeping in your bed?
Yes, sleeping.
But you were in the same bedroom?
Yes, of course, we were in the same bedroom.
Yeah,
so that became a sleep dependence issue that we've just resolved like a few months ago, because now she couldn't fall asleep without breastfeeding.
Okay.
And
I actually wanted to ask, did you move her to your bed after spending time on the couch?
Yeah. Because that was the most reasonable thing. Like, we just saw I'm sleep deprived. I am angry all the time because I feel like my life has changed too much. So we were just like, to make it easy for me during that period, we would rather just, even if that's what we were avoiding, because she was waking up so many times, and I didn't want to bring her to our bed. So we just decided, no, let her come. So she came and stayed.
And made her home.
Made her home. So but again, the other good thing is that I still thank God. Of course, there are times I would feel, now what is this we brought upon ourselves, but I still thank God that it was the perfect solution for that time, because I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't having enough sleep.
Now you started sleeping.
Yes, of course, that also meant that we needed to work hard to train her later, so that we win her off that. But I think it was worth it at that time.
At that time,
so that I think one other thing that I really struggled with was, because I am one person who even is happy, like I delight in checking boxes. So when during those times when I didn't have a baby, I would actually write down my to-do list for the day, and I would find so much joy and delight in ticking, I'm done with this, I'm done with this. So now with the baby, I slowed down quite a bit. Like
only two are ticked.
Yes. The baby is alive and fed. Only those two. So I struggled with that. I felt like my brain is rotting. Like, if I continue like this, I will run mad. And I found myself scrolling and being on the phone too much, because you're spending almost the whole day just picking your baby, feeding, being with them, playing a bit with them, putting them to sleep for a nap, before you even are able to do anything or to get your mind around doing anything, she's already up and in need of the same. So I would scroll and be on the phone too much, which later I came to see as a problem and began filling up that time with some other productive things, like even reading during the breastfeeding session. So I struggled with it a lot, because I felt like I'm not being meaningful in even contributing towards the success of the running of this home. It was quite a struggle. And I remember one of the articles that I read there was like an exposition of Psalm 23, but from like a mothering perspective, where the author was saying, when the psalmist says that you make me lie down in green pastures, it's like being in a place of rest. And I got challenged to rest. Like even if today I wasn't able to clean the dishes that were in the sink, rest in knowing that my approval, God does not approve of me based on the things that I am able to check off, the task that I am able to do, but based on the faithfulness. And right now, my priority and the thing that I need to be most faithful in is caring for my baby. Of course, that doesn't mean that you be lazy.
Yeah.
If you have the time, and if it's possible, do whatever other things that you need to do. But do not harass yourself or do not beat yourself hard based on the fact that you're not able to check off all the list of things that So that was super helpful, and I began having a demeanor of rest, of saying, okay, today is here, let's see what I'm able to do.
Let's live today.
Yeah, let's live today. If I clean the dishes, okay. If I manage to cook, okay. But also God was gracious to grant us, just because we operate, my husband and I operate without a help. So we manage, between ourselves, we just plan how to manage things together. So one of the hacks that we came up with at that time was freezer meals. So if I can cook some kidogo legumes, why not cook the whole kg that I had bought and then store it and have it ready whenever. It's not even that we have one day where we are cooking everything that we need. It's just those little, if I can cook a whole kg, why not cook the whole kg and then pack it. And that was super helpful because we would go, sometimes for a whole week we've never cooked. We just do freezer meals. And in our context and at that time, it worked for us well. So just God giving us wisdom in how to live out those seasons was also something that we evidently saw. And also having an employer who is very gracious, and I was able, whenever I went to the office, I would go with my baby. Of course, that would also mean
running.
It's a challenge. Like you do not have the luxury to do one task and follow through, like to do it undistracted. But it was a mercy in that I didn't have to stress about many things, and I still somehow was able to deliver in whatever things that I needed to. Of course, taking more time and taking more hassle, but still delivering. Still, it continues today. Of course, right now with my baby moving around, I am able to do much more things, and I feel like I am going back to some level of control. You know, the way you feel you do not have control over your life. So right now I feel like I'm starting to have a grip onto my life. Things are not just slipping over, from me without my knowledge.
And the moment you start feeling that, pregnancy test.
Yes, I know. It's a trap. It's a trap. For the next, I don't know how many years, that's the cycle.
Wow.
Okay.
So who named your baby, Gakenia?
We both did. We agreed on the principles to follow, and then I did one name and he did one name.
Okay.
And we agreed on them. So one principle or one thing was we wanted very local names, like very. My husband is Meru and Embu, and I am Kikuyu. So we wanted names coming from within those three communities. So that was one. But then also because it's a girl, we felt we wanted to honor our moms, and we decided to honor both moms.
Okay.
So my mom's nickname is Gakenia, and her second name, Wakamoya, is my husband's mom's nickname.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we settled on the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't, they were not named like traditional?
Yeah, it's not the traditional. Thankfully, also where my husband comes from, it's not strict. It's not a strict tradition on expectations on how to name. So we felt we have the liberty to choose whichever way we agree on. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was many months of seeing and asking and telling the people we're asking not to tell our mothers so that they do not preempt. Yeah.
Okay, so how are you teaching her some good values as a toddler?
Yeah. Well, her language, of course, is still developing, and so you're not able to teach full sentences of things.
Yeah.
But one of the things has been music. She loves music, and there's one particular song that she really loves that we also have taught her to love. Like when we saw she has an interest in it, we started, and it is basic. I would say it's basic theology of, because it talks about our identity in Christ. And she does some actions towards it, and we hope that with time she will understand what she's singing
means,
and what she's trying to verbalize. So that's one thing, I think, music. Another thing has been incorporating her fully into our family life, and that has to do with work and all that. Since she doesn't allow me to work by myself, I have to bring her in. So we've gotten a stool where she stands so that she can be on the counter with us, and we give her her own chopping board and her own butter knife. She thinks she's cutting, but she's not doing anything. And also whenever I'm cleaning the dishes, I still have to do that with her. So that has made her, I can see that she's very interested in doing the things that you're doing. And I hope that in full time, in the fullness of time, she will love work, especially work that is geared towards the successful running, because every team member or every member of that household has to work towards the success of the running of the household. So I hope with time she will she'll get to a point where we can tell her, now go and clean the dishes. Of course that will take some years and it's okay, but I think this is laying the groundwork for that. The other thing has been we are very intentional about church. One of the things we emphasize on is, like, she has to know her parents love church and love serving in church. So we go with her to even those other meetings that are not worship, like just the normal Sunday worship. And that's the goal, that she may, we are not doing it for her performance, of course, for her performance so that she can watch us, of course. Like, we are doing it because we also love it, but we hope that we can demonstrate to her a passion for service to God that she can catch on even later in life and can also run with it. The other thing is, my husband is intentional about family devotions. We are not perfect, so we are not always able to do it. We are not always, it's not like every day we check the boxes and we did it, but we try to do it. We try to have a time to do it. And one thing we've realized is that whenever she sees, after we've had our dinner and she sees us now relaxing, she actually goes and brings the Bibles to us, wanting us to read. And of course she doesn't understand what we are saying, but we really hope and trust God that with time she will begin to know, and she will come to faith even at an early age because of the knowledge and, you know, even watching our lives. And so we are careful also to live well. We also try as much. I know it's very difficult, and we've felt the difficulty of the limitations of screen time. Sometimes I feel like it's just easier to let her watch something so that she can leave me do something at peace. But we've really, by God's help, we try as much as possible to have a routine even with that, so that it's not something that is not planned. It's something that, yes, she's having some screen time, but it's planned and it is controlled by us, the parents. Like, she's not just there sitting
watching anything.
Anything and anytime. And that means I've had to, like, be her entertainment sometimes. So I have to do goofy things and to
Run around.
run around and to learn new things like nursery rhymes and all that, so that I can sing for her and with her.
Yeah.
But we would rather put in such work
Yeah.
than allow someone else or some other screen thing to do it. So off the top of my mind, those are some of the things that we are trying to do to just help her and raise a responsible person, and, and somehow, even with all of that, nurture some values in her.
Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking that as a first-time mom, when you're expecting, there's some advice that you received. You've told me about Lama's classes. You've also talked about a community hanging around you, you know, that kind of help. Is there any that didn't work? Any advice that you received from people that hasn't worked for you?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So we had, because of, and I think some of it was us sinfully trying to control things.
Yeah.
But we had really hoped to have a good sleeping pattern with our baby. We had worked very hard. We even bought a book. It's called Contented Little Baby or something, that talks about just sleep and feeding and how they are related. And I read a lot of it. And then we realized maybe it's not working for us. Let's even shove it aside and just learn our baby and learn her rhythms and all of that and work with her with what she has. So that didn't quite go as we... It was good advice. It was not like it's bad advice, but it didn't work for us. So we just decided, okay, let's do away with it. Another thing, well, this is a thing that we bought and didn't work. So there's a cot that we bought that she has never used.
A baby cot?
Yes, even a single night.
Oh.
She has never slept on it. And again, it's, I don't know, I also know that with every child it's different. So even with the second born it will be different than with the first born. But it's the ambition of, I think we had a lot of maybe misconceptions around the sleep issue. We really were determined we will never co-sleep. And co-sleeping is not wrong. It's just that we felt like we wanted some independence. Because of course when you're co-sleeping, there's some dependence and boundary issues that you have to work around.
You also sleep at the edge so that you don't have to be...
And we really didn't want that, but that's what we ended up with. So even with the bed buying, our baby outgrew the small, what are they called, co-sleeper that she had, because she's a tall baby. So she outgrew it by like around month 4, so we had to get a bigger cot. And she never slept on it even a single night.
The cot?
Yes. So it's packed up somewhere in the house. Hopefully the second born might use it. We'll see.
Or we donate.
Or we donate. We'll see eventually what works.
Oh, so now she's sleeping in a big bed.
So now she's sleeping alone but in a big bed. Because also now as time went by and as we still tried to make her sleep there, because she had now gotten used to sleeping on a bed, so she would sleep with her hands all over. So the cot would restrain her. She would do this and feel the edges of the cot and wake up.
So it hit her head.
So eventually she just sleeps on a big bed. And that works for us now. Maybe the other things were around pregnancy. In my preparation, because I had really hoped for normal birth, and I think it's a normal expectation for all women. There are many things that I did, and I know some of them are backed by scientific research, and so I do not dispute that, but it just didn't produce the desired result for me. So teas and all that, like I remember was, especially that trimester, I think, I was really on, it's called raspberry leaf tea. that helps with, and it's actually backed by research. It helps with, what is it called? I think the thinning or something on the line of the uterus. And those are things that sadly I had put my hope on.
Somehow at the back of your mind.
The back of my mind, but never worked. And it's okay. Like, I think it works for some people.
Yeah.
And maybe you have to combine it with other factors for it to work. Yeah, and I think at that point I recognized the need to also not put our trust in human solutions or in things, because birth is delivery and all that is a very God-ordained thing, and you cannot be sure, you can never be sure. It can go this way or that way, and all of that is in God's hands. The biggest thing would be to trust him. Even as you try and do things that could help, the biggest thing would be to trust him and not to trust in whatever you're doing to help with that. Yeah, I don't think I can think of any other thing that didn't work. I think especially my church community was very helpful in giving practical things that I could also see they had been tried and tested. Like I could, since there are people I do life with and have observed how they do life, a lot of the advice I was given, I would say, is practical. And I think it works. It was not outrageous and unrealistic.
Okay.
I thank God for that.
Okay. So knowing your background, you have siblings that are triplets.
Yes.
Do you have any fear?
Yes, a lot of fear.
Are you waiting for something?
That's a huge insecurity, I would even say. And I remember when we found out that I was pregnant, I was really looking forward to the scan. What was it week? I even forgot. The one that shows
the 12 or the abnormally, the 20 weeks one.
Yeah, I can't remember which one of those. But I was really looking forward to it because I was scared of the thought of having multiples. And some of it is just that maybe I'm living in trauma of what I've seen while growing up, because it's a lot of work. And I saw what my mom went through, and sometimes I wonder whether I would have the strength to go through all of that. And some of it was like, people, and it's a good thing for her because, the way years back then, the village would literally come in for you. And I watched how during clinic days, women in the village had to come and help her with the babies so that they can make it to the clinic. I think she didn't go to church for more than 1 year when they were little. She didn't go to her own home to visit the parents for, I think, over 6 years during those formative years. And it's all of that. It's not even the having them that is the problem. It's the what comes with having them that I think of, and I'm like, I am not sure.
You feel like you're not equal to the task.
Yes. I am not sure I can make it without running mad. And also the resources that are needed for that, because like one of the realities with my mom is that she couldn't breastfeed. And we know how formula is expensive.
Exactly.
So some of those realities I think about, and I'm like, wow, I don't think, God, if you were to ask me, I don't think it's something I would willingly want to. But then on the flip side, there's the thing of, like, you can just have triplets and be done with that chapter. And not go home for just 6 years. Then after that, you'll be
you'll
be free. There's that part, but I'm not convinced enough. This other one outweighs that other one. And I think with even how my experience with raising this one, and of course I do not nullify the fact that I think God specially equips us for every season that we find ourselves in.
Of course.
Like the Bible says, as your days are, so your strength shall be. I do not doubt the fact that if God gave me multiples, He would equip me for raising them. But before then,
let's just hope.
But anyway, I think also at the end of the day is a thing of, it's God. Like those are things that only God ordains and determines.
Yeah.
And whatever he ordains, he knows how he will accomplish it and the means through which he will bring it to success.
Yeah.
So if it came to that, of course, I don't think I would wallow in sorrow. Well, maybe a bit, but I don't think it will drive me very crazy.
Yeah.
It would drive me crazy a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think God will equip for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you saying that you actually went for a scan to check if it's one or
Yes.
multiples.
Yes.
And I remember myself, I didn't even expect that I would, in my wildest dreams, I didn't even imagine that I would have twins. So even when the sonographer said, you're having twins, I'm thinking, you're lying.
Yeah,
it can't be. My mom never had. My grandma never had. And
that's the same line I encourage myself with, because before my mom, we are not aware of any family member who had multiple.
Yeah.
So I encourage myself by saying it was a one-time thing that
will not repeat.
The chances of repeating are not very high.
I wish you all the best. I wish you success.
I know you can say that comfortably from that end because you've already lived it out.
I wish you success. Let's wait.
Yeah, let's wait and see. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, what joys and successes have you experienced so far that you can share with us?
Yeah, just watching our daughter grow. It has been such a joy. And the interesting thing, and I think this is a God-ordained thing, that when you're in the thick of it, it feels so, you feel like you don't have the strength to live tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then when you're out of that season and you look back, you only have the good memories of it. Like the memories of how tough it was, never like cloud the joys of how fun it was. Yeah. And it's something I thank God for, because I know it was tough, but I may not give you the specifics of how tough it was. Yeah. When I look back, I see joy. And watching her grow, watching her hit milestones, watching her, she has one tooth now, watching her now, she's crawling, her saying the first word. Yeah. All of those things are so delightful. And it can only be God, because how does he allow us mere men to participate in creation in that manner? Because it's such a joy. But also learning, seeing, like now when our daughter is a toddler, seeing her personality coming out. And her, her strong will and she has preferences now. Okay. Like she has a cup that she loves better than the other one. Yeah. And seeing all of that, and I'm like, wow, how have we come far in all these months, and now we are here. And hearing her call the dad and the things she delights in. So my husband works from home, so she's usually there on the door, crouching and calling him. She has learned how I knock whenever I want to access the place where he works from. So she goes there and knocks.
Imitates you.
Yeah, imitates me. And sometimes the father will almost think it's me, but then it's her. Little things that bring so much joy and laughter around us. Or even the way she, like in church, since she has seen us, that when we see someone in church, like the way you meet, each Sunday we've come to church, you say, oh, hi. So now she starts saying hi to people, even unprovoked. She sees someone passing and she's like, hi. Wow. Those things, those small things are joyful to watch. Seeing also, because one of the things as a responsibility for the parent is to train but also discipline. And I would even argue training is also part of discipline. And seeing her catch on things. We do not do this here. I've been told several times I should not do this. So you can even see her conscience. Like one of the things we are working through is when she gets angry, she throws away things. So just training her and telling her, no, even when you get angry, you do not start beating people and throwing away things, creating that boundary, and seeing how sometimes it slips out and she does it, and then she's like, you can see she's visibly disturbed, and sorry for what she has done, and it brings joy, because even if she didn't manage to do what you had desired, at least she's beginning to know that it is not right, and she shouldn't do it. And all of that has been such a joy. And also seeing how she's a very, like, when we are with people who she's not used to, she's very reserved at first, and then starts opening up later and engaging them in conversation. Well, not in conversation, but just in like playing things and pointing to things and all that. That has been a joy, like to see, and that is how we desire to see her grow, knowing people and loving the people we love. It's been so joyful to watch all of that unfold, and to even think that God would entrust us with that.
Wow. Now that you've talked about training and discipline, how else do you discipline her, apart from telling her this is wrong?
We actually use the rod, because it's clear, it's there in the Bible, clearly written. But one thing, there's a class, we still haven't managed to do it, but we hope to do it. But we've interacted a lot with people who have benefited from it, and we've borrowed a lot of that. My church also at some point did some classes on parenting, which were also very helpful. And a simple method, of course it's not always that, like it's not, all these things are not very formal, because also as a parent, you're not a robot. Every context and every moment is different, so you need to contextualize the knowledge that you have to know how to address whatever issue. But one of the simple principles that we use is first teach, like for example, if it's a socket, teach them that they shouldn't be touching that. You never discipline that which you have not taught or warned. It has to be, so that it's not also reactive. It has to be, I have taught you this thing and I have repeated it several times, and I have warned you about it, so now I can discipline if you still continue doing the same thing. So one of the things has been, and for us, it's not to punish her, but we avoid, our house is child-proof, but there are things we have left and removed, like some books we have just left there, and so we had to walk, like I remember when she started crawling, like it was something that took a long time before she could now understand she shouldn't touch certain books that we've left in a certain place. And right now I don't have a problem with that, like she never goes there to pick any of that. And of course that is a lot of us. There are days I would feel like I'm repeating one thing 100 times, but it bears fruit eventually if you persist in it, because parenting is also for our own, we are working on our own patience. It's also for our own sanctification, and so we should not short circuit the whole thing so that we get quick fixes to things. So that's what we do. And when it comes now to the actual using the rod, we are not always faithful to doing this, but this is a principle we've been told and we've seen in action, and we've loved from the people who've gone ahead of us in the parenting journey, is to take her away. Especially like when we have guests, we do not discipline her in front of everyone. We go to the bedroom and we discipline her from there. Of course, she's usually with a diaper, but we hit her behind. Maybe thrice or so. Yes, and then also we comfort her. Like, you're not just disciplining her. You don't want to. You want to carry it to the end, because it's not punishment. It's just showing her what you've done is wrong, and it has consequences. So also comforting her. Sometimes she does this thing where if it's just the two of us in the house, if the dad disciplines her, she will come for comfort to me. If it's me, she'll probably go to the dad, and that's okay.
It's okay.
We comfort her, because we are not we do not want to banish her. We do not want you to wallow in your feeling bad that you have done this wrong thing and you have been punished for it. We also want you to know that we still love you in our discipline. So if she comes to me for comfort, it's okay. Like sometimes she runs away from the father when she knows the father is about to discipline her. Of course, I will hand her over to him to complete the thing, but she also needs to know that she can come to us for comfort afterwards, even in her tears. Yeah, so I think that's a summary of what I would say with how we've been going about it. And we still hope to learn more and to, of course, also seasons change. But one helpful thing I remember a friend of mine told me is that if I say a lot of no's right now, I won't have to say many no's in the future. So it has been an encouragement to ourselves to not tire, because it's a lot of repeating yourself. To not tire in doing it right now, because we are laying the groundwork for not having to do it too much in the future. Because you have, and even in the future, and also with consecutive, I hear of firstborns who already know the rules of the house and they're the ones telling their siblings, we do not do this around here. And we hope that that can be the case in the future, so that it's easier even at that time.
Okay. Any major challenge so far? I know you're really small, but still.
Of course, having a baby stretched us, marriage-wise also, where I am convinced that I have the best interest of this baby at heart, and my husband is also convinced he has the best interest of this baby at heart, but whatever we want to do is different. Like he wants to do something different from myself. And there are moments where there was tension, because no one wants to let go whatever we want to do for this baby. But then we have to do something. We have to agree on something eventually. So we were stretched in that way. I think lately we've been able to resolve, but it was lingering, especially sometime last year. There was a time it was just lingering around the house, where I think he thinks that I do not trust him, and he thinks I think that, vice versa. Like, both of us are feeling like you don't know what you're doing. I'm the one who is in the right, and it is concerning our baby. But just letting it go, or sometimes just one of us compromising, so that for the sake of our peace, and all of it is stemming from love. And since none of it has been something sinful or something unhealthy for this baby, one person's way can go, and it's okay.
So test of patience.
Yes, test of patience also.
Okay. So how would you say that parenting has changed you as a person, as a mother?
Of course, my brain has deteriorated quite a bit.
You don't remember things?
I don't remember things. But then surprisingly, I remember things about my baby. About any other thing, I may not be in a position to remember. But I will remember something about, and I think I sometimes I choose to look it in a positive way, because I think the Lord gives us sensitivity towards your baby and the needs that takes priority, such that other things are just at the back. And of course, that is not to say we should not care for other things, but that's just the reality. So my brain has deteriorated quite a bit. And I also feel a sense of protection towards my baby, that I didn't know I could experience this with another person. Or so I will be very, I don't like to see her out of, like, especially on a Sunday we are in church, and of course she will meet other babies and start playing, but I'm always like, I'm not living for myself, because I am observing her and I want to know her every move and all of that. A lot of times I think about her clothes and what she needs, but for myself,
you go to buy yourself clothes, you buy for your
yes.
That is so familiar.
Yeah, so that has like been come at the front. Like she's just my priority right now. What else has changed? At some point, I had hair loss. Like my hairline was receding.
Yeah.
Like that was a physical change that scared me, and I'm like, wow, I'll become kipara. But thank God I worked on a few things that I think they worked, or maybe the season changed. I don't know. Some of these things you never know. You do something, you're not sure whether it's that season that ended or it's the solution that you came up with that worked. Yeah, so that scared me quite a bit.
Relationships, maybe you've added friends, lost friends.
Yes. So relationships. So right now I'm not able to go out as much as possible. Like if I need to meet someone, the only practical way is for them to come over to our house. And also my responses, you would be one of the people to witness how I take too long before responding.
3 weeks later.
Yes, because I see what you're saying, I see what you messaged me, I internalize it and I have an answer, and sometimes I only answer in my head, but never like really get to answer on the phone. And I think I really mourned the fact that I couldn't just go out and meet people. And that's because, one, I will be thinking about the baby the whole time, so I would rather not. But also because of how impractical it is, especially for my context. But now I have made peace with just opening up our house. If someone needs to visit, and if someone is able to, they can come over, or we can go over as a family and visit them. So that is what has worked for us.
I saw a meme that said, if it can't accommodate my child, then I will not come.
Actually, that's actually something we've agreed upon. You know, there are people are invited for parties and told, don't come with your children. If you tell us that, we are not coming, because now, like, where do I take them? They are a part of me in some way.
So, and now that's how parenting has changed you. How has it changed your marriage now? Ways you used to connect kitambo, how do you connect right now?
So we really struggled quite a bit, and I think the struggle was, sleep has been a major struggle for us, and because of that, because of also not being able to like come up with a good routine, we also, that spilled over to our marriage, because that means I'm always trying to put someone to sleep. And then no sooner had they slept and I tried to do a few things, they're up again. So one game changer has been just resolving that. And I did a form of sleep training that was a bit gentler. So I helped my daughter with that, and after that now we are sure that she can sleep through many hours, because kitambo there's a period of time she would wake up, as soon as you lay her down she's already up. But now with her sleeping longer, that means that if she sleeps early enough, we can even have some time together. But one other thing has been, like I mentioned earlier, weekends that, before we had a baby, the weekends that we were probably not hosting or being hosted were for watching. For a long time, that was not possible with our baby. But now, especially this year, that's why I'm telling you, I feel like I'm beginning to get a grip. So one of the motivations is usually on Friday, we do things quickly, dinner is ready on time so that we can now watch, and we watch things that are favorable for her, like she can watch with us. And then when she needs to sleep, we go put her down to bed, and if there's still time, we continue watching. If not, we go to bed. So just incorporating her into our lives has made it easy, so that we are not waiting for this perfect time when all is still and quiet for us to do the thing that we wish we could do. We just find ways of doing it, even if she will be up and awake. But also resolving that sleep issue has been a game changer, because that also means she sleeps in her own bedroom, so at least there's even some privacy in the master bedroom, and so that has also been really good to have back. Yeah.
I'm also curious for myself and also for a new parent who is watching. How were you able to sleep train?
So I was very averse to it for a long time because I hear stories of how babies cry themselves to sleep, and I couldn't bear that.
Yeah,
I couldn't. That I wasn't going to do that. So what happened? I observed one day. On Sundays, she's usually very tired. So when we go home, she generally sleeps faster and better on a Sunday. So one day we went home, and I decided I won't breastfeed her to sleep.
Okay.
So I held her while we were on the bed, and I saw she slept. And then I was like, okay, so she can actually sleep if I wean her off that. So I started going with her to the bed and staying with her. And of course she would cry, but since I was there and it was for comfort, I didn't do that thing of you leave her for how many minutes and then come back. No, I stayed with her through her tears. She would cry and then eventually sleep. And I started reducing the intervals at the minutes through which she was crying.
Yeah.
And then eventually she started, whenever she knew I've gone to the bedroom and drawn the curtains, it's now nap time, I would just hold her and she would sleep and then put her down to bed.
Wow.
And then when we saw that was a success, we decided now she's ready for her own room. So we moved her to her own room, and it's the same. Even now, that's what she do. I think she craves for the comfort. So even now, I still have to hold her until she sleeps, and then I put her down. And that is just what works. Because if you don't, like if I just lay her and allow her to sleep by herself, she won't sleep. She'll either play too much and not sleep, or cry too much out of not having the comfort and the security. Yeah.
Wow. So we do what is working for her.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we are the ones who knows our baby. They are different. So do what works for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we are just about to come to the end of this conversation. It was very refreshing.
Thank you.
Hearing from you, a parent of one, and I can hear a lot of knowledge. I don't know how it will be later. I will host you later to hear.
Don't get it twisted. Usidanganyike.
Yeah, so it's very refreshing, and I'm sure our listeners have learned a lot from you, Wairimu. So just maybe to wrap it up, what would be your parting shot to maybe young parents who are starting? And even older parents like me who are still learning.
Yeah, my parting shot would be just echoing what I've said. For one, I really would recommend highly for people to do the Lamaze classes. And I know there are hospitals that even offer them. Like I know a hospital like Coptic has the lessons. I know different people are offering them even online nowadays.
What do they teach in Lamaze classes?
They teach the whole physiology of birth, how it happens, how to breathe during. They have a very natural approach of doing things. So a lot of times, and I think a lot of mothers and just parents would agree to this, because we do not know what to expect. Sometimes hospitals even take advantage of us. You've heard of cases where someone has been rushed into even a CS that was unnecessary in the first place, or someone has been treated badly during the labor process. And Lamaze classes will help you know how your body is during labor. How is your body behaving? What should you do? The pain levels, the stages of labor, how birth is going to happen, and all of that. And so you're taught things like how to breathe through the labor, some of the exercises that can help you with maybe things like the baby descending further, how to advocate for yourself, so that if I'm told the reason why I'm being wheeled for a CS is like something that I know can be resolved by maybe a bit more time, a bit more observation, because a CS should be it's an emergency. It's for solving complex cases that cannot be solved otherwise.
Yeah.
So having the knowledge of how you can advocate for yourself so that you're not being one of the statistics, because I've heard of even cases where doctors are given quotas, like you're told you have to do this number of CSS because they fetch more money. And I'm saying that like it's actually a doctor who's told me that.
Yeah.
So there are many things
so
such as this, such as those happening. So there are actually, and there are even studies that have been shown. It's not a Kenyan problem only. Like there's a documentary talking about India and how the whole thing has been commercialized.
Yeah.
So Lamar's class would help you with that because you're equipped and armed with knowledge on knowing you're a part of, you're not being told by the medical staff things that your body is doing, like you're part of the process.
Yeah.
You also understand this is how my body is behaving and this is what I need to do at this point. And these are the questions I can even ask them when they tell me, let's do this.
Yeah.
You're able to advocate for yourself and you're able to understand everything that is going on.
Yeah.
So, and also you're able to know how to handle your baby those first few, when she's very tiny and sensitive, and especially for first time mom, you may not be fully aware. I've heard of like a friend of mine who didn't even know how to change a diaper.
Yeah.
So they did it from front
Back.
Yeah.
I think
So
I also did that. Yeah.
so things like those would, a class like that would help you know things like those, so that you're ready for that time when it comes.
And what do those classes teach the baby of the child?
So I think that is optional. So I know not every father wants to be taught, to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But for maybe a father who wants to be there for the wife, but you don't know how. And that's a real thing. Like if you go to a hospital, the labor area, you meet fathers who, they are very sympathetic with the wives. There is a time I ever went to Kijabe. We were with a friend. We were caring for a friend who was in labor, and I saw how some men there are just confused. They would love to participate. They would love to know what to do, but they just don't know.
Yeah, they are clueless.
Yes, they are clueless. But having the knowledge of, you can rub your wife here, like during a contraction, you can press in the lower back so that pressure reduces pain in a certain way. Or you can teach them when a contraction is coming to breathe through, like to take deep breaths, so that there's something it does with pain. There's all that explanation is in the classes. Knowing that is super, it empowers the men who want to be there.
Yeah.
And like just being there and not knowing, seeing your wife in pain and not knowing what to do with her.
And fainting.
And fainting.
Men
yes.
also faint.
Yeah. Yeah, so that can be helpful. And also, like when the doctor comes and says, this is what we are observing, you know what questions to ask for clarity. You know what measures. And that also, the class will also help you with knowing the kind of birth you envision. And like I said earlier, of course, it's not possible to have a foolproof plan. In fact, this thing is in God's hands. You can't prepare enough to make God now work with your plan. It's his plan. But knowing the things to ask and what to expect is very empowering. Such that, like in my case, even how my birth ended up, I'm very comfortable with it because I see how we got there. I see how it, even though I had hoped for a normal one, I see how we got there.
Yeah.
And that to me is freeing. And that to me is freeing. Yeah, so if someone has access to those classes, the ones that I did were offered by a missionary from a sister church of ours, and she does them, I think she does them now physically monthly or every 2 months.
Maybe you can mention the name of the church.
Sure.
So that,
So the missionary friend who does it is called Jenny Charles from Emmanuel Baptist Church, and she actually requires couples.
Yeah.
For her, since she takes the angle, I know Lama's classes in and of itself is not like a Christian course, but there are Christians who've taken it, and now they've found a way, because like her, she really emphasizes a lot on even Psalm 23 and how that will help you even in labor when you're in pain, and all of that. And she requires couples.
Yeah, I also wouldn't want to go alone.
Yes.
I
Yeah, but I know other places women can just go alone by themselves. Yeah, so yeah, if you hear any of that, that class is empowering. You can plug in and be a part of it.
Wow.
And also surround yourself with community, the right people who can care for you in ways that, because sometimes also you want, you know, the way society has trained us, when you see a mother who has a young one, mpelekee uji mtungi mzima, njahe and all of that, and maybe that's not what I want at that time.
Yeah.
Just surrounding yourself with people who are understanding, who know, who discern your needs, and who would even ask, what do you need? So that they are meeting real needs, not their own perceived needs. I think that's super helpful. And maybe if I may shamelessly plug the lactation consultant, by the way, like some of these things are new and emerging, and we never know we need them until we are in that place.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I know a lot of women have experienced lactation issues, where and you know the birth period, like after the baby is born, is very crucial. If you don't get some things right, they might prop you for failure. Like you might not be able to get a hold of it anymore. And a lot of cases can be mitigated by just maybe achieving a good latch or knowing what to do. One of the things, and again, that friend had really helped me. We had conversations even before the baby was born. So one of the advices she had given me was not to accept my baby to be fed formula when she's born, and not because nothing against formula. It's just that I need to try for the milk to come in. I need to actually try, and if I delay too much,
it won't come.
Yeah. So when I was in hospital, and a few hours after birth, I was actually called because my baby had to be observed. She was in the, what is it called, newborn care unit. So they called me and asked me, do you want us to feed her formula, or you want to try and breastfeed? And I imagine if I had not known that, I think maybe I would have told them, yeah, you can go ahead and feed her formula. So when they told me that, I actually went there and sat there and tried to, even if at first you feel like nothing is coming out, I tried to. And also she had told me the way at that stage, they only need like a few teaspoons of milk.
That water, it's actually water.
It's actually,
dilute.
yes. So it's okay even if you feel like you're not, it's not coming out enough. So that was super helpful, because if I went there ignorant, maybe the outcome would have been different. So if as much knowledge, and a lot of it is also available like on YouTube. A lot of these things are available on YouTube, and you can equip yourself as much as possible. And but also at the same time, not trust in your, I think that's an important point, not trusting in your methods or in your own knowledge, trusting in God, and hoping that he will work even with what you have to give you success. At the end of the day, it's our trust in God, and that is what matters, because God has ordained different things for different of us, for different people, and so sometimes even if you try to foolproof yourself in whichever way, if that is not what God has ordained, that is not what will happen. So having an open heart to receive from God's hand whatever he wants your journey to look like.
Wow. What an amazing way to just end this conversation. I have really learned a lot, and my takeaway from Wairimu is, for me, Lama's classes. If you're a new parent or even a second parent, please, let's go and learn so that we are aware of our environment, so that we are aware of what to expect, what kind of questions to ask, and also to be aware of how our bodies are changing during the birth process. Also, God. Let's trust in the Lord. Let's not lean on our own understanding. During that birth process, during the pregnancy process, during even the parenting, whatever age, even the teens, let's not lean on our own understanding. Even in the Bible, we are told not to lean on our own understanding, but in all our ways to acknowledge God. So let's continue leaning on God. He will direct us. He will keep helping us in our parenting journey. Thank you so much, Wairimu, for coming and for sharing your knowledge. We really appreciate, and I hope that our listeners have learned a lot from this session. Please let me know on the comment section. I will be following up, and if you'd like to talk to Wairimu on the side concerning the lactation expert and the Lamaze classes that she did, you can also indicate it on the comment section, and she will be so happy to connect you and to reply to your comment. Thank you so much for watching this show. My name is Frida Wasonga. I am the host for these parenting conversations. Let's keep learning and saturating the online space with helpful information on parenting and godly parenting. Thank you. It's a bye for now.